Barclays Bank of Kenya has now suspended the safety deposit book services due to the emergence of financial crime associated with its use.
The bank CEO, Jeremy Awori, says they are also working with their existing clients to review the existing safe deposit boxes, but did not clarify what that review entails.
Now, the discovery of currency and gold in two separate safety deposit boxes has given rise to a number of security concerns as NTV's Olive Burrows explores.
The mystery surrounding the contents of safe deposit boxes has inspired many a movie plot in its time. The boxes are typically rented for safekeeping of gold, an emergency stash of cash, precious stones, expensive works of art and sensitive documents. But the very secrecy that makes the boxes appealing inevitably attracts a bad element, as was laid bare on Tuesday when counterfeit currency amounting to 2 billion shillings in US dollars was recovered from the Barclays Bank Queensway branch, followed by fake gold in a second deposit box. The recovery, a revelation as to just how pervasive the money laundering business has become, infiltrating even the hallowed banking institution, and which, given the national security threat that terrorism poses, cannot be taken for granted. The corrupt, another threat to our national security, it's suspected could also use the boxes to ferret away their ill-gotten wealth, safe from the scrutiny bank deposits may be subjected to, raising a number of pertinent questions. 1. What regulations govern the hiring out of safe deposit boxes or lockers? And 2. Given that the contents of the safety deposit boxes are known only to the client, is it time to enforce stricter measures in light of security concerns around money laundering and terrorism? 3. Would greater scrutiny of the contents of safe deposit boxes defeat their purpose? In other words, how do you weigh the right to privacy against national security concerns? 4. How have other jurisdictions addressed these competing interests? And 5. In handing over a second safe deposit box belonging to one of the suspects in the counterfeit currency probe, without being compelled to do so by way of a court order to the best of our knowledge, did Barclays Bank violate their expectation of privacy? As far as the regulations governing the use of safe deposit boxes is concerned, we only came across a brief mention in the Central Bank of Kenya's prudential guidelines. It simply states safe deposit lockers where provided should be housed in a separate strong room. Customers should be provided with sufficient and suitable verification space. And in our inquiries to those in the banking sector, we were informed that their procedures are informed by international best practice. The practice being that none other than the owner of the box should be privy to its contents, but to release the bank from liability, they are required to sign an indemnity form, stipulating that the bank accepts no responsibility for loss or damage to the items. The contents are not insured by the bank. The bank does not accept for safekeeping firearms, ammunitions, other explosives and flammable material. The client also undertakes to not use the facility to house proceeds of crime and indemnifies the bank from any damages the bank may incur as a result of the breach of these terms. And should the depositor agree to these terms, they have the option of renting out a small, medium or large box. The small box attracting a rental fee of about 2,000 shillings, a medium one available for approximately 3,500 shillings and a large one at about 6,000 shillings a year. Amounts several banks in the United Kingdom assess to not be worth the trouble, including Barclays and cooperative banks which shut down their service. And given the events leading up to Barclays Kenya's decision not to take on any new safe deposit box customers, the safety deposit box here could be on its way out too. Olive Burrows, NTV.